Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you. Welcome back to the Beta Plan, playing Planescape Torment. If you're still stuck around and wondering for the big question, well, let's see what you might have answered in the comments or what you think was true. But, well, truth, I don't know. I don't agree with that. Things can change the nature of a man. Love, I don't agree so. Love may change your nature. You may do a lot of things for this person, but that is perhaps already your nature for loving that person. And otherwise, if you are with another one, couples always grow over time towards one another. But that is only one person. That is not really a nature. That is a feeling. That is a behavioral pattern, not your nature, in my opinion. The same is a bit for hatred. It is more or less, in my eyes, two sides of the same coin. Hate and love are very close to one another. Power? Power can make you, well, because of greed, you can want power, and with power comes knowledge. Knowledge is power. Power corrupts, study hard, be evil. That is the saying. But yeah, power can change the way you act, definitely. You may change the way you look at things because you have the power to change things. I'm not sure if that is considered a nature, if that is also not, once again, a behavioral pattern. And power, some people get corrupted by it, but not all of it. So do not agree with that as well. And love, well, for some love, people love just each other, the other, just the way they are. Nothing more, nothing less. So, I don't consider that possible answers. Betrayal, oh, that can get your hatred to, but still, could be one person. Death. Death is the end of you. That is not really a nature of man, in my opinion, in the question. Unless you consider it ghost, but still. Regret. Now we're getting somewhere. Regret can change. Regret can make you reconsider your actions. And because you reconsider your actions, which of course betrayal also does a little bit, but it's the regret that it comes from the betrayal that does it, can make you reconsider how you do things, how you feel about things. Age. Age makes you have experience and therefore also consider things. Success. Oh, success will make you feel wonderful. But once again, just like with power, that not always corrupts or changes you. There are some artists that still live with their mother, for instance. The planes. Yeah, that can change the nature of a man, absolutely. In our world, however, I think suffering is the closest answer towards the true thing. Suffering is the thing that comes from betrayal and leads to regret. This is, I think, the key factor. Suffering, when you suffer, when you feel, when you suffer for your art, that's perhaps something different, but when you suffer for love or when you suffer in war, that can shake your very foundations. You've been never able to look at another person the same way, which is also betrayal for this. Comes to this. Power, perhaps you suffer more from the power, more or less. I think this is our most, well, proper answer in our world, but, well, we are in the Planescape settings. And there's only one thing that can change anything more than your outer actions. The planes. Because there are a lot of things in the planes that you have already seen, and we haven't even seen the cookiest of things. And that is your answer. The veins in Revel's eyes begins to shift slightly. She gives an evil smile. Be certain before you say. It may not be your answer, but it is my answer. And that is all I wished for, my precious man. Revel smiles, relaxes. A simple answer. In the end, many of them, the men, have I laid low while they sought my answer. That's it. I thought. Revel cackles. Countless times has the question been asked, and not once did the pathetic shells who came before me answered with their answer. But always sought to creep inside my mind and find what I thought. Shh, there's no truth in that. I don't believe you. I don't. In fact, I don't think they ever could have answered you true, even if it was true to them. Ravel falls suddenly strangely silent. She's watching you warily. You never cared about any answer other than mine. Ever. Did you? Yet still you asked a question knowing that no matter what the answer they gave, they would die by your hand.
Updated my journal.
Ravel hisses. Of course your answer was the only one I sought. For you were the only reason I asked a question. Did you think I cared for them? Did you think I even cared a fraction of the amount for them what I cared for you, my precious man? Answer me that. I'm through answering your questions, Ravel. Now you answer mine. Of course. Ever questions. Ever questions. Why did you make me immortal, Ravel? It's what you wanted, Seedling. You asked so sweetly. Now how could Ravel say no to one such as you? Immortality was your solution. Your challenge to me. My solution? But why? I don't know, Seedling. This time has chipped away at my memories as well, it would seem. See? If you remember, tell me. I'm a curious myself. Must be something important, isn't it, in the nature of man to want to live forever? Only if what lies on the other path carries greater pain. Ravel, this is very important. Do you have any idea why I asked you to do this? Death was a thing you need to dodge. An easy thing to say, mayhap, but to do it is not. Immortality, even when it's flaws, was the best solution this withered mind could untangle. Yet, lead is not easily a change to gold, but it's possible, though the unwise Ravel. If water can be drawn from blood, mortality can be taken from a mortal, peeled back like a sticky film. So you pulled it off. The gulf between man and non-man is great. You travel the distance, I provided the means, but you cross on your own. Ravel slaps her head and rakes her hand through the air. Bam, Ravel! Mortals are too flawed to be made to last. Still they break. They must be dragged kicking and screaming into an unhealthy new mold. Unhealthy? So the ritual is flawed. Shortcuts must be made, and they can break the molded. For it is not always the mold that breaks, but the substance stored within it. Force something into a shape it was not meant to be, and it breaks. I thought the material was the stronger stuff, but you have been broken. But I am immortal. Surely that was a success. You have survived long, immortal one. But you have become the prey of the creature that is life. She cups her hands, then reverses it, forming a canopy of her hands. The body is but a hut for the soul, but now no one dwells in your hut. So what went wrong in the ritual? Puzzle-fleshed, broken, beautiful, beautiful mortal man. The ritual was not a finished thing. Revel's brows winkle, and her tongue pick at her hair, tugging on a lone strand. The ritual gave you what you wanted, but the ritual gave you what you wanted. But great were the casting of shadows, the quiet, violent deaths of the mind, and the painstaking emptiness. These things the dangers were on such a fragile vessel. No matter how strong a mortal man, them and the ritual do act. The casting of shadows, ungrateful shadows, but ungrateful without cause. The shades, and they hate you, nameless one, for they are fathered by you, your children. Once forsaken, they will never forgive. They will do everything they can to destroy the parent. Such is the way of children. How do I father shades, these shadows? You cast shadows in existence, nameless one. With every death, a shadow arises fresh from the fields of your flesh. They are wonderful for a time, but always they return, looking to murder their parent. Such is the way of offspring. Revel purrs her lips in disapproval, and slowly pokes in the chest with her talon, and bangs a man such as yourself. The quiet, violent death of the mind, 1,000 deaths, and you recover from each. Not so the mind. The mind is much more fragile. Its scars run deep and do not heal. The brain is encased in a hard-bone shell, difficult to breach, but with no defense against that which eats it from within. And what's the painting in emptiness? You have a hole where your mortality once lay within your shell. She makes her hand into fists and shakes it. Rattle, rattle, goes the hollow man. A baby's plaything, with it not but a tiny stone that clatters and clacks in your frame. Despite the problems, it seems ritual worked. Do you doubt, Revel? Of course I delivered on what I promised. Not long after the spell that drew to our close, I killed you to see if it worked. You struggled so, but I kept my grip tight. Now let you die your first of many deaths. Revel clacks her teeth. That was I learned in its flaws. What flaws? Ego enwraps us like a prison. Forgot I did that I oft-times serves as a shield. Revel clicks her tongue. My pretty thing. There's much wisdom in understanding the truth that life is a preparation for the ultimate goal. Death! And life is a means by which we learn how to die. If we forget such a thing. So that's when you discovered I lost my memories when I died. Yes, Revel nods. Unfortunate. That the mortality to hold such memory tight. The shell the body is. So you took my mortality from me. Is it still intact? Revel seems surprised and alarmed. Yes, yes, yes! Fear not for a broken mortality. If you are here a talking to me, intact your mortality must be. Such a thing cannot, not be destroyed as long as you exist. You are an anchor of your mortal soul. As long as you are intact, so shall it be. Made to last are you? Revel smiles and gives a wheezing laugh. For life swallowed you and spit you out. It swallowed him, but I don't know if it came out of that end. Enough of this. Look, Revel, you took my mortality from me and it has caused more harm than it good. I will take it back now. You've heard it, though. You've had it over long, I think. Ah, you make demand. Revel black-veined eyes sharpen and twist, taking a disturbing awareness as she bears a yellow fang. No, no, no. That, Revel, I will not do. What is undone cannot be done. Why not? Revel cannot give such a thing to you, my precious man, for Revel has nothing to give. I never possessed you or your mortality, though I wish to keep them both in my garden as selfish affections. Keepsakes. Trace the patterns of your flesh, but such a things Revel could not bring herself to do. Why not? You loved him! Anna breaks in her silence. She sounds astonished. You loved him, you did! Revel gives a low, wide smile. Is that so hard for you to believe, feebling? She cackles softly to herself. Does Revel being Revel and does the myth not deserve to carry such a feeling in her black brambled heart? No creature is undeserving of such a feeling, Revel. Grace speaks softly. The histories do not paint such a compassionate picture of you, however. The past is past, and history care little for speaking the truth of it. Revel frowns, then her voice drips slightly, threatening, as she studied Grace. The feeling brushed me, yes, and I'll hold your silver tongue, abyssal daughter. I need your soft words to cloud the air here. The man and I shall speak, and you shall bow out of this. I shall attend to you shortly. Enough, Revel. You don't have my mortality. Where is it? I don't know, sweet thing. But if I were you, I'd get it back quick. No telling what horrible things someone could do to you if they held your mortality for ransom. Revel clicks her talons together. It would like beholding someone's sweet succulent soul. A puppet dancing on someone's strings, would you be? Now a sad puppet too. Too? Know where it is, I do not. Hold a moment, you see you don't know where my mortality is. Do you know someone who does know where it is? Revel smiles horridly, her tusks gleaming. Clever you are. Yes, there is another who might know the thing that Revel does not. Another may know? Who? Revel's eye dim as she is staring at something in the distance, and her voice slows. A fair-skinned one, must you ask? Angel, a deva. One who soars on the wings of morning, and with his hands is the architect of horizons. He lies beyond my keeping in another cage in another prison. In his knowing, is the knowing of what you wish to know. Ask him your questions. Listen to his answers. Use them as guides.
Updated my
Or
journal.
where can I find this angel? In leaving this prison to another cursed prison will you arrive, though it may not appear such to a casual glance. Step lightly and find a golden link in the ever-shortening chain. The light shall give the dark the matter. New paths shall open to you. I had some other questions, Rebel, if I may. I had some questions about you, Rebel. Yes, ask some questions about Revel, my precious friend. So, Revel, the legends claim you are a powerful mage. Can you teach me of the art? Revel frowns disapprovingly, her bluish skin twisting like a rag. Does Revel know the art? Is your mind gone away of the mortality of thing all up and lost? I have forgotten more of the art than you shall. She jabs you with one of her talons. Ever. She jabs you again. No. Can you teach me some of the art then? Revel narrows her black veined eyes, stunning you. Mayhap I could be persuaded by one such as you, though any other would not have such a chance, not a boon I offer. Are you a rudimentary student in the arts, or am I facing a true, tried and a tired master? A master in the arts. Beautiful Revel. Flatter, and yet your words warm me. Ravel's voice changes, altering pitch like someone plucking a stringed instrument. What have I learned tending this garden? Charms and incantations distilled from the palms. She begins to hum slightly to herself, rhyming, swaying ways of the consonants, constants, and motions that bring the briars to your aid. Listen, the briars will speak of it. Oh, sorry, that's actually you're talking. Close your eyes and listen, and look at it! 90,000 experience just because we are a mage. As you close your eyes and listen, a great trembling passes through you. The dozens of barbed snakes will burn beneath your flesh. Just when you think the pain is more than you can bear, you suddenly instinctively begin humming the same tune that Revel did, and the pain ebbs. In the distance of the maze, you can hear the clicking of the tree creatures as if responding to your call. Continue to hum. Revel watches you with a curious light in her black-veined eyes. Such power! She gives a soft hiss and is in wonder, and her lips peel back in a smile. And it touches all that I hear it. You are powerful, my precious man, so powerful. One day, even the plains may bend to your will. I do not wish such a thing, Revel. There are many who would walk that path, but not I. I will nuts, the nuts at your hands, which to your surprise holds a number of black barbed seeds. Take those seeds, use them as you will, and to this I grant an additional boon. She plucks her hair from her head and takes a handful of seeds, places her in her palm, then crushes them. A small trail of blackish blood runs from her hand, but when she opens it, there is no wound. Only a necklace of black barbs woven around the lock of Ravel's grey hair. Take this. It is of me, and it will serve you well.
Updated my journal.
Alright. Save those seeds, precious man. Use not all of them, for they may prove more useful in other places in this maze. But if powerful you are, these places you will find. I had some more questions about you. I know, for instance, that if we continue to talk more, we should be able to unravel more of Ravel. Yes, pun intended. Revel, who are you and where did you come from? I, Revel, I, maker, breaker of puzzles, a solver what can not be solved. A mind rattling and unraveling until the threads of thoughts are tied up like knots in a drunken man's hair. Revel picks at one of her jagged grey hairs, wrapping it around her finger. It is enough it is. But what are you? Some have called you a night hag, whatever that is. Night hag? Revel gives a ghastly smile, her yellow teeth like needles. I'm but a woman who has sorely missed her beloved creation. Some have named me Crow, Grey Lady, Jaga Sister, Night Hag, but myself is my name, Revel. Revel puzzles well, providing conundrums to decipher and laying impossibilities low. But, many things are said, we Grey Ladies. Race are we Night Hags, but an individual am I. Some cause evil of old, stalkers of mortal dreams. A unkindly ones, ugly, hideous things whose homes lie in the dark places of man's minds. Revel's eyes narrowed to a reddish spot. But that means nothing to me. What would one such as you call one such as I, pretty thing? Truth. I find you beautiful, Revel, not perhaps to the eye, but your mind seems sharp and vibrant. Yes, but she's also super evil. I would say that all the descriptions are all correct. So they are, but they are not your answer. I withdraw the question, O discreet one. No more shall we speak of this. Oh dear, I must answer that, then apparently. In a more fashion that she likes. Oh dear, did I block myself out of this? That is unfortunate. Why were you imprisoned? I tried to help the lady. Kindly she did not take it. The Lady of Pain. You tried to help her. My offering of help wasn't welcome. I tried to set her free. Sigil is the cage. The city of doors and lucks is a prison for her. Must be, mustn't it be? Why else call the city of Sigil the cage? And who is caged? The lady! A prison so small for one so great. Unjustness, wrongness. Tolerable to torment a woman justly. I think I know who should be in a cage. I tried to break the cage and the lady go free. She makes a shooing motion, her expression becoming pained as she scatters invisible words. Shoo shoo, oh pained woman. Let Sigil's ring be broken so you might fly far from its filthy streets. And the stupid taboos that dare not speak in words for fear their thoughts would be overheard. Revel's hands slowly stopped her shooing motion. She gives us a sigh. Before I could have finished, I have found myself here, and my memory's none the better for the trip. Much has slipped away, much forgotten. Yes, it was, was. Revel smiles with her yellowed teeth. The dwindling of a memory has become a comfort to these old bones. Much have I forgotten. I am fortunate in that I shall remember you. But why did you want to try to set the Lady of Pain free from Sigil? Revel's voice drops, almost reprimanding. I resent anyone, even a power, being imprisoned. I think that everyone, whether stones, shawls, or quiet-bladed ladies, should be free. Some have said more foul, I. Why is such a thing, they said? I agree, I would have let the lady lie. I think you did. No, I would let the lady stay in her in Sigil. Trust me. There are some things I cannot bear, and no apologies will I make, my precious half-man, yet. When I cannot let matters well enough alone. Many are the lives and dreams that are left in pieces on the ground. If I had let you be, perhaps you much better would your life be. Is that what you were trying to do when I met you so long ago? Were you trying to set me free? Quite possibly. Possibly quite. Life's changed and fears of death and may have gripped too tightly on the man I knew. Knew then. Ravel picks at one of her jagged grey hairs, rubbing around her finger. No liking for chains and cages does Revel have. And so I was caged somehow, or chained. Sounds to me as if your memory's stirring, Revel. Yes. Revel blinks for a moment, and her black veined eyes become duller, as if she has been struck with a heavy weapon. Her talon tightens around the grey hair, so tightly it looks like she is about to tear it from the skull. Perhaps you were trapped? But it was no normal cage that held you. Do you have any idea what held
Updated my journal.
Revel looks confused and her face twists, as if she's fighting an unpleasant thought. I have forgotten? Perhaps a promise? No. A finger tightens around the grey hair, and to your surprise there's a snap like a twig breaking, and Revel tears the hair from her head. A trickle of black blood worms from beneath her skull cap, and she hesitates in anger. Revel?
I couldn't carry anymore, so I had to drop it.
Are you alright? No more, will I say. Revel's face wrinkles in pain, the talon covered with the blood-tipped grey hair. Even plucked from her head, it looks jagged and stiff. I do not know, and no one shall I share. She stares down the grey hair wrapped around her talon, and then she hisses and flicks it to you. Take this, and leave the past where it lies, half-man. I am going to say that this is the end of our episode, and I am going to come back and I am going to trace my steps and answer her differently at the first point. At the point where we talked with her about well, where did she come from? Because, well, I really want to be interesting. And after that, I know the end with our conversation with Rebel is coming up. So don't worry. It's not going to be all conversation in the next episode. In fact, I can promise you an interesting twist. I say thank you for watching. And remember, great peril, you great beauty.